Hi, I'm meteorologist Chris Tormer. Let's talk about mountain weather and ski conditions and really what this is all about today. This analysis is about the transition, what comes next. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at this upcoming week and we're going to go all the way into Friday and see what lies ahead. But right now, what we're dealing with is the transition. Colorado, parts of Wyoming are very windy. In Colorado, this is the live camera from Loveland Ski Area right on the top of the Continental Divide. We've been dealing with 60 to 90 mile an hour wind gusts all night and this morning with whiteout blizzard, ground blizzard conditions up there. And I mean, if you know this type of pattern, we're just loading up. We're doing a lot of wind loading. We're taking all that snow and we're moving it. And we're moving it and creating new problems with avalanche danger here. So that is the live view. Let's get into the radar satellite analysis here, and you can see what is left over of this northwest flow. Still some snow falling in northern Wyoming and Montana and northern Idaho, but it is completely dry in Utah and Colorado, not dealing with any of that now. So now it becomes a question of, okay, well, what are we going to be dealing with next? And it's all about the jet stream. It's going to be changing its orientation, and instead of coming out of the northwest, watch the transition. So this is Tuesday. Look at western and southwest Colorado. You see that orientation with the green, the tail end of the jet? That's a southwest flow all the way up into the atmosphere. I bet you we're going to start to load up snow in western and southwest Colorado because of that Tuesday into Wednesday. I would watch Crested Butte. That would be one of the places that I would watch as that pattern establishes itself. And this is Friday at 5 a.m. Notice the big difference here. This is west to east across the west. And looking at my notes, that's a complete change. I mean, we've been dealing with the northwest flow, which was really an orographic type flow. And not that this won't be, but this is going to be different by the time we get into the end of the week and the weekend. This west to east flow is going to take low pressure systems off the Pacific and moisture off the Pacific and move it into the interior, basically from the Pacific Northwest and California at times, and then into the interior. So our future radar at this point will move it from today into Monday, so you can kind of see where things are at. By the time we get into Monday, it stays dry in Utah and Colorado. Any leftover snow is going to be in northern Wyoming, Idaho, and southern Montana. And as far as that goes, I would watch Discovery, one of the ski areas there in Montana, for some large additional totals. But by and large, this whole thing will begin to transition away. And as we head into Tuesday, we start to see the new pattern establish itself. Look at some of the snow there in western and southwest Colorado. A little bit of snow hitting the Wasatch. But again, this is just a transition phase right here, transitory phase, if you will. Really waiting for the jet to begin to flatten out and come straight off the Pacific. And again, that's going to move moisture off the Pacific from west to east. Look at Colorado, still benefiting from that, some of that wind energy in the atmosphere, still snowing there. Okay, now look at the Pacific Northwest here on Thursday morning. You see that? The banding of precip, we're starting to escort it in, and by the time we get into Friday, we're talking about a larger packet or a low pressure that comes off, moves snow into the interior. It is snowing at that point, and the Wasatch, the Tetons, and then eventually that whole pattern would settle into Colorado as we roll into the weekend. So again, snowfall amounts. Watch Discovery over the next 24 hours. If you're going to be skiing on Monday, you'll probably want to find yourself in Montana. That's where some of the best totals between now and Monday are going to be. Into Tuesday, we'll probably add a little bit of accumulation through many of those same areas. And then by Tuesday night, though, into Wednesday, watch western and southwest Colorado. We'll start to see some of the numbers tick up there through Crested Butte and off to Snowmass and Aspen as that southwest flow with the tail end of that jet benefits some of those areas. Look at that, you can see the numbers. So Wednesday looks like it's going to be a powder day in Colorado. We'll have added a little bit in the Wasatch, but I want to make a note on this with some of these totals. And I put this in my notes. This is a different flow right here than what we just dealt with. This will not be as cold. So some of these types of snows that we're seeing add up in Crested Butte and Snowmass and Vail, Loveland, Steamboat, Silverton, these will not be those cold smoke snows that we just saw. This is a warmer setup with, coming off the west coast. This jet will not be as cold as it was. Now, as we hit Thursday, between Wednesday and Thursday, some of the totals will continue to tick up in Colorado. But really watch the totals start to add up as we start to bring some of the heavier moisture in between Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Watch the totals go up here across the west, and we'll start to add numbers up in California a little bit there. Squaw Valley, the Shasta. Look at the Pacific Northwest. We've pushed it 15 to 30 inches there between Baker, Stevens, and Rainier down to Timberline. And look at Jackson. So as that moisture flows in Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the numbers will go up. And the Tetons, they'll go up in the Wasatch, and they'll continue to go up in Colorado as well. But again, emphasizing that this probably will not be as cold of a flow pattern as the one we just saw. But nonetheless, still something to look forward to by the end of the week. Thank you for tuning in here. Always appreciate it. Take care.